Welcome back to the vlog! Yay! I'm sorry it has been such a long time since I filmed anything. Life got a little bit crazy for a minute. After we posted the last vlog, we found out that our rent was going up like almost $400, so we had to find a new place to move. And then it was the holidays, so we were in South Carolina for Thanksgiving, and then we went to Chicago for Christmas. And then right when we got back, we had to kind of start packing and moving because we moved mid-January. We're still in North Carolina. We just moved from Raleigh proper to Durham, so just like the opposite side of town, basically, that we lived in, but we're a lot closer to Chase's work here. Moving was kind of a nightmare. I'll make that quick, but so we were moving, and the day before we were supposed to really start moving in, I had set up an appointment for them to come and set up the internet. They had set up our account wrong, so they couldn't set up the internet. And then the next day, our refrigerator, washer, and dryer were supposed to be delivered, and the refrigerator was damaged, so they couldn't deliver it. So we went a week without a fridge. We scheduled another appointment for them to set up the internet, and they messed up our account again, so then they still couldn't set up the internet. And then a few days later, we set up another, and they finally figured it out, and we had internet. And that's such a first world problem, but also Chase works from home, so it kind of threw a monkey wrench into everything. And yeah, so then our fridge was supposed to be delivered, but then there was a snowstorm, and anytime there's snow or ice or anything in North Carolina, everything shuts down, so they couldn't deliver our fridge, so then they pushed it back almost another week. So we went about 2 weeks without a fridge. And a few days before our fridge was finally delivered, so like 3 attempts to do internet and finally got it, 3 attempts to do the fridge, finally got it, but like 2 days before the fridge was delivered, a toilet downstairs overflowed everywhere. So we had dirty, gross poo water all through like the downstairs. It didn't flood the whole downstairs, but it was probably like a third of our first floor, and that sucked. It turned out that the builders, so we're in a brand new townhome, still renting, but it's brand new. We're the first people to ever live here. When they were building, the builders were flushing things like paper towels and rags and things they shouldn't have been down toilets or drains or whatever, so everything got backed up. So we moved in, I did laundry, we showered, and everything just came right back up. So that all happened within the span of like 2 weeks. And then a few days later, our fridge was delivered. Oh, and then I forgot about this, because the washing machine was running when we went downstairs and found all the flooding, so I ran upstairs and turned it off. And then from that day on, for about a week, it wouldn't work properly. It was a brand new washing machine, so then we had to have a repairman come out. So everything that could go wrong for a move did. But finally, once they fixed the washing machine and our fridge was dropped off, everything was better. And I am sitting currently in the baby's future room. I thought this would be a good place to film this, because I also wanted to give an update about baby and everything. I'll stand up. The baby's coming. Yay! So I'm in the baby's future room. We moved. We're paying the same thing we would have if we'd stayed in our apartment, but this way we have 3 bedrooms, so Chase has an office, we have a room, and the baby gets a room. But yeah, life is pretty good. Life's actually really good. So yeah, the baby's coming. We've had plenty of appointments. He's extremely healthy, so if you guys didn't watch the last vlog update, it was like 3 months ago, so there's quite a bit to update you on. In the last vlog update, I had let everybody know that the baby was diagnosed with Down syndrome. And so with Down syndrome comes a lot of different health concerns. One of the biggest ones is that a lot of babies with Down syndrome have heart conditions. So they've been checking on his heart and everything at ultrasounds and echocardiograms and everything, but his heart looks super healthy, so we're really excited about that. And he's very, very active. On Christmas Eve, I felt him kick for the first time, and I swear he has not stopped since. The first night this is my first pregnancy, so I've never experienced this. The first night, he kept me up all night. I just felt like I was gonna throw up everywhere because it's such a weird feeling to feel for the first time. I was so nauseous all night, but kind of gotten used to it. He doesn't really let me sleep much because the moment I sit down or stop moving, he really likes to get going. But he's very, very active, which we're really excited about too, because that is a good sign. Active babies are typically very healthy babies. And yeah, so another thing that I wanted to kind of confront and talk about is there have been some people who, I know they have the right intentions, but when we talk about the Down syndrome diagnosis or anything, they say things that they think are helpful, but I think that they're just not helpful. Like saying, well, doctors don't know everything. We know he's going to have Down syndrome. We had the blood test and it came back 99% chance he would have Down syndrome. And then he has a lot of other physical markers that they can see in the ultrasound, and we are okay with it. So while I understand that people say that with the thought of like, oh, but it'll be okay, like everything already is okay. This diagnosis and everything with it, it already is okay. This isn't something Chase and I are upset about or worried about. It's I mean, obviously there's health concerns that come with it, and we want to make sure that he's healthy, but we aren't disappointed or sad or anything. I've had a few people say like, we'll pray that God fixes everything, or we'll pray that everything will be okay. Like, again, everything is okay. I think this was God's plan for Chase and I to have this baby. This was God's plan for this child to exist, so that is not something that you need to pray for. We pray that he's healthy, obviously, but we're not praying that the Down syndrome goes away or anything like that. And yeah, so he's very healthy. A few of the signs that they look for are, and one of the first things that they had seen on the ultrasound was that he had a thickened nuchal fold in the back of his neck, and there was fluid buildup. So that fluid has drained and everything, but it's still thick, and that's one of the first things that they see in an ultrasound that may lead them to believe that there's Down syndrome. Another thing is shortened limbs, like femurs. Their growth starts to taper off. So that's something we've seen, not drastic, but his growth in his legs has slowed down a little bit in comparison to typical babies. And he has no nasal bone. So that is also something that they look for in ultrasounds. Babies with Down syndrome either have a very small nasal bone or no nasal bone at all. He does not have one, which is okay. He'll have a nose. He's not going to look like Voldemort or anything. He still has a nose. But yeah, we aren't worried about it. So, like I said, I appreciate people say things with good intentions. Like, well, doctors don't know everything, or we're praying that everything will turn around, or anything like that. Or another one that we heard a few times, specifically, I think because people heard about his neck being thicker. He'll probably be a chunky baby, but that's fine. A lot of babies come out chunky, but a lot of people specifically said Chase was a really big baby, so like he's probably fine. Like, again, no, we've talked to the doctors, we've seen the ultrasounds, we've done all these things. He will have Down syndrome, and that's okay. We're super excited. We get to be a part of a community and a lifestyle that a lot of people don't understand or ever get to experience, and there's a reason that they call them parents or family members of children or people with Down syndrome the lucky few. We truly do feel very lucky that, you know, we get to be a part of this life and hopefully change people's view of what Down syndrome looks like. A lot of people with Down syndrome, when they get older, they have jobs. Some of them drive. A lot of them can go and live out on their own. There's a big spectrum when it comes to Down syndrome. And we're very confident that this little guy is going to live a very full and very happy life. And we don't see limits with this. At least I would say like there are things we look out for and there's things that we are going to work really hard to conquer. But like this doesn't feel limited to me. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that. One of the things that I want to do in the future and with this channel and just with social media is raise awareness and kind of flip the script on what people think Down syndrome is supposed to look like or does look like. One thing I'm realizing that I don't think I mentioned is that I'm 27 weeks right now. So today is February 15th, so the day after Valentine's Day. I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. At least when I'm filming this, I don't know if you'll see it today or not. But yeah, he'll be here in May. So we've got like about 3-ish months until my due date. Totally possible that he will come early. Yeah, we're super excited. So I'm in the baby's room. I'm not going to show the room yet. I'm going to wait until we have it a little bit more set up, but you get to see this corner. This lamp shade is going to change because it doesn't match anything. This is just a lamp we already had, but yeah, I don't really know. That's just kind of a general life update. It's starting to warm up here in North Carolina, which I'm excited about. We really get like 6 weeks of like winter, but this, I will say, it was a little bit harsh. We did have some snow. It was like 3 weekends in a row that there was snowstorm, ice storm, which this is only our second winter here, but from what I have been told, it's about every 5 to 8-ish years, I think people have said, that they get a bunch of snow and the winter is a little bit rougher, rough for North Carolina, and so they were overdue. And so it's like a lot of people, like locals or people who grew up here, were like, yeah, it's about time. For those of us that moved from the north, Chase and I were disappointed. We were like, this is what we were trying to get away from. We don't want any of this. But it's starting to warm up. So about this time last year is when it started to warm up. And by mid-March, almost everything was blooming and spring had sprung. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that. One thing I realized is that the baby's gonna come at like peak allergy season, and my family, I'm not really sure about Chase's family, but my family, like my side, has severe seasonal allergies. So I feel kind of bad because they're gonna want to come and visit and see the baby, and there's so many trees and just the pollen is so bad. And I know that like some people are probably like, she's exaggerating. Literally, you wake up in the morning and the cars are like green, like this like neon greenish yellow. The sidewalks are, everything is coated in pollen. I'll try and get it on camera or find pictures or whatever. If not for this video in the future, I'll try and show you, but I feel bad. Chase and I, neither of us have seasonal allergies or didn't. And last spring we were both a little bit stuffy, like I had to start taking allergy meds. So hopefully that was like maybe just because it was the first year, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the update. I'm going to try and be much more consistent with posting. I'm going to try and be more consistent on all of my social media and everything. I'm going to be staying home when the baby comes. So I had gotten my real estate license and I really loved doing it. And then it's expensive though to keep up your license, and it's a lot of hard work. And it wasn't necessarily that I don't want to do the work. It was more so it's expensive to keep up, and Chase and I had decided we wanted to start a family, and the plan had always been, and the plan we'd always discussed, is that I'd like to stay home when we have kids. To be clear, it is not an expectation of Chase that I stay home. He's super, super supportive and has said to me a million times just in this pregnancy alone, like, if you change your mind and you want to go to work, like, that's fine, we'll figure it out. Like, so, but it's a choice and something both of us have discussed and we kind of want is for me to be home. And so I just put my license on inactive for the time being, because like I said, it costs a lot of money to keep it going, like all of the fees you have to pay to be a part of different associations and pay for your MLS and all of that. And it's hard when you're pouring more money into it than what you're bringing in. And then I knew I was going to stop doing it. So we just kind of decided, let's take a step back. It doesn't mean that I'll be done forever. I might reactivate my license and get back into real estate, but just for the time being, we just decided, let's take a step back. Why pour more money into it than what I'm going to be making, especially knowing I'm going to be stopping. But I really loved it and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it doesn't mean that it's the end. Just life, you know? So, being home, I'm going to try and maybe be a little bit more active on social media. I don't know if that means becoming a full-blown content creator, but at the very least, I want to share our lives, whether it's vlogging or TikTok or whatever. And I want to be an advocate for our little guy, and I want to share our life with this precious, precious gift that we're so excited for. I just kind of want him to be here already. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, message me if you have questions, and have a great rest of your day.